Hi.
Hi there,
How you
girlfriend.
doing?
Everyone. This is Angela Jordan Perry, and you're watching Girlfriends It's Got to Homeschooling with Angela Jordan Perry. And I am turned up for today's interview. Listen, I love meeting people, new people. And when I meet them in just not the obvious places, it's even more exciting. So today's guest in the interview that I have, I met her on Instagram. So
Yes.
just go figure. She's following me on Instagram, and I just went and said, "Hey, who's homeschooling? Hey," and so that's how we have come in contact today, and we met over the phone, and just a very relaxed atmosphere, and and that's how it should be when you meet other sisters,
Absolutely.
part of the African diaspora. So that is exciting, and it's sweet because she's part of the African homeschooling
Absolutely.
diaspora.
Yes.
Woo! All right, let me let you know who we are. So, Girlfriends is Guide to Homeschooling with Angela Jordan Perry. This is a platform that gives voice to the African homeschooling diaspora and those of the marginalized homeschooling community. So, hashtag we homeschool too. And we are doing it well and successfully. Our kids are thriving. Moms and dads are making it happen.
Yes.
Single family homeschooling, dual employed homeschooling, and homeschooling parents, just like Tiersa. She's going to share her story and everything in between. We're getting
Yes.
it done, and our kids are benefiting as they learn self autonomy, as they learn freedom and the
Absolutely.
love of learning. Now,
That's right.
I can hear right now between Tirza and myself, we might be going to church here because I say something and she comes back, and I say something and she comes back. So that's how you do in church. It's like
Yes.
this conversation.
Because you know what? Because I'm passionate about it. Like I am so passionate about homeschooling and unschooling and just providing my kids with the freedom and the
Yes,
time to learn the things that they want to learn, to
yes,
explore the things that they're interested in. And we're such a small population. So I'm really glad that you reached out to me because I'm very excited meeting other moms such as yourself that are in the community because there's not a lot of us. And that's why I'm really passionate about it. And I want to just spread the word because, like you said, me and my husband, we both work. So I just feel like if we can make this work and we can take our kids out of school, then anyone can do it. It's just
absolutely.
about getting creative and finding new ways to do this and making homeschooling and unschooling our kids a priority. So,
That's it. That's it. So just like Tisha said, we're going to jump in on this interview. Let me let you know just a little bit about myself. I'm a homeschooling mom of 8 children, 18 years. We make our home in the northwest part of the state of South Carolina, where we're self-sustaining farmers and mom newly gone vegan. So figure that out, vegan and farmers. I don't know, but we're making it work. This is what we do. So my purpose-driven life is to make a positive impact on thousands of homeschoolers worldwide. I do that in part serving my community here in South Carolina, giving families all across the state legal rights to homeschool. I do that with Girlfriends' Guide to Homeschooling right here with Angela Jordan Perry. On our podcast, my podcast, Girlfriends Chat with Angela Jordan Perry, and Educating Our Own. Right now, I'm putting a plug in, tears of everybody. Go over to Facebook and look for Educating Our Own now.
yes,
Follow us, follow the page. Release date is this Sunday. And then also here on YouTube, Educating Our Own. Follow us right there. So that's a little bit about myself. Married of 26 years with my partner, and we are making it happen here
right.
in South Carolina. So without further ado, let's get to this interview. First of all, I must ask Tirsa,
Yes.
are you ready to make it happen?
Yes, I am ready to make it happen.
All right, here we go. Let me tell you a little bit about Tirsa Girlfriends. So Tiersa McQueen is a wife and homeschooling mother of four, including twins.
That's right.
He is a graduate of Howard University and works full time in corporate retail as a location planner in Florida.
Yes.
Tirsa was always curious about homeschooling, but after the tragedy of Sandy Hook, she knew she had to make the change for her family. So, with the help of her husband, Shannon, they crafted a plan to work separate shifts so they could make their homeschooling dream a reality.
Mhm.
So, 4 years have passed and they haven't looked back.
That's right.
They have gone from traditional homeschooling to unschooling and are making plans to world school in the coming years. So Tiersa is passionate about homeschooling and unschooling and is active on social media. I have her handles in the show notes, so you can be sure to go connect and find her on Facebook and on Instagram and on Twitter. Okay, so make sure you do that. So Tiersa, I have told the girlfriends just a little bit about yourself and how you got started in this journey, but if there's more to share, please share and tell us how you actually got started.
Okay, so yeah, like you said, I had always been curious about homeschooling. I wanted to do it. I was working as a substitute teacher when I was in high school. When I graduated college, and I just saw how the school, kind of zapped kids of creativity. They would make them do things the way that they wanted them to do it, and they wouldn't necessarily let the kids read the things that they were interested in or go after the things that they wanted to go after. So I felt like that the kids were missing out on a lot of freedom of choice. So I was always directed towards homeschooling in a way. And then like you said, after Sandy Hook, I was like, not just the freedom part of it, but also schools are becoming more violent. It's not a place that I want to send my child. So, I have to really think about how I'm going to get them home. Like me and my husband, how are we going to make this work? Because we need both incomes. We need to do that. So how are we going to do this? So I got an opportunity to work in Texas. So we moved from New Jersey to Texas in 2013. And Texas is a really free homeschooling state. Like there's not a lot of restrictions on homeschooling. And I was researching it a lot at the time. And my son was in the 3rd grade and he hated going to school. Like he was a great student. Like he got straight A's, everything, but he just hated going to school. And so one day he came to me and he said, "Mom, can we just try homeschooling? Can we just give it a try?" And I said, "Yes, why not? My own child is asking me for it.
Wow.
Why am I not going to trust my child? He's telling me what he wants, and who knows better what he wants than him." So all we had to do was send an email to the school saying, "Well, this is the kids last year. We're not re-enrolling them." And that was it. And at first it just started with my oldest son. He was going into 4th grade, and my daughter, she was going into 3rd grade. And we kept the twins were still going to pre-K because we were just stepping into the water. So we didn't know how we were going to be able to handle it. So we just started off with traditionally homeschooling the 4th and 3rd grader at the time. And the more we got into it and the more we started to understand what homeschooling was and started to love it so much, just the family time and realizing and understanding that it's a lifestyle. It's not just a way to educate your children, but it's also a lifestyle. The more I felt like I got to get my twins home too. I can't send the twins to school and have the older two home. So the twins went to kindergarten, but then at that time, I got another job offer to come to Florida. So when we moved to Florida and transitioned to Florida, we just said, well, we just want to homeschool the twins. We're just going to homeschool the twins now because, we didn't want to sign them up for school and do all that. So we said, well, they're here now, so let's just make it work, and that's been a lot of our homeschooling journey is just like, let's just step out on faith and see, let's just make this work because this is what we want to do. So let's make it work. So that's what we've been doing. And this year is the first year that we had all the kids at home. Like I said, I work during the day, but I found a job that I only work a mile away from home.
Wow.
So I come home at lunchtime. I spend as much time as possible with them during the day. And my husband's there with them and answering any questions that they have. And then he goes at night to work and I come home and it just keeps on rolling. But the good thing about homeschooling is that you can do it at any time. So you know, I don't feel like, oh, I'm missing out because he's there with the kids during the day and, you know, I'm at work. When I come home, they still have plenty of questions. There's still conversations that need to be had. You know, there's still things they want. Oh, somebody wants to make cupcakes, and or somebody has a question they want to look it up on the internet. You know, it's never ending. It doesn't stop. So, you know, just like learning, we're always learning. So it's just been a really, really great experience. And I wish I had started sooner. I wish you know, I really do. Like the deschooling process has been, you know, challenging for us, especially for me and my husband, to get out of that mode of this is the way to do it in school, so this is the way we have to do it, and just, you know, being more free and letting the kids be more free and taking control of their own education. You know, we're getting to that point now. So
yeah, and it's a process.
It is the process.
And I love what you said in regards to, let me make sure I hear echo, make sure. I really like what you said in regards to it's a lifestyle. And it sounds like to me that you're able, the big thing is just being able to do life with your children and not just this compartmentalized, they're here and you all are here and then you come home and you prepare for bed and go home. But throughout the day, you're living life together and you're schooling, but you still have time to make those cookies and just live life.
Right.
And I love that picture that you gave because that's what homeschooling is.
Yes, that's what it is. But, you know, when you first start, when you're coming out of the school system, you don't realize that. You know, we didn't realize that. We thought we needed to have, you know, this set curriculum and these set times during the day. And, you know, this person needs to be doing this. And why aren't you doing this? And, you know, we've been doing this for years now. And the more you get into it, I really feel like we're unschoolers now. We started unschooling this year. We really let the kids take the reins on their own education because we started to realize that, you know, they understand that they need to learn. I don't have to tell them, you know, well, you need to know this or you need to know that because, you know, you're going to use that later on in life. They get it. They already get it. Like they want to be successful in life too. So they take responsibility for their own life and their own education. And that's one thing that I feel like homeschooling and unschooling has given my children that is a benefit that's going to benefit them later on in life, is that ownership of your own education. And also, you know, that feeling of if I need to learn something, it's on me to learn it. It's not on mom to tell me, you know, do math right now or, you know, read this book or that book, but it's on me to find out and figure out what I need to know when I need to know it.
Absolutely.
And, you know, and so that has been the biggest learning that we have had through this journey is that learning never stops. You're going to be learning forever. It's not up until 12th grade. It's for your entire life. Yeah. And also just more so just me and my husband letting go and letting the kids live and learn. You know, that's been the biggest thing. Just trusting them that they want to do well in life and that they're going to figure out how to do it. And we don't need to interfere. The less we interfere, the more they learn. The more we interfere, the more they resist. So just that part of it, just that letting go part has been like monumental.
And letting go is like the hardest lesson. It sounds so easy, let go, but I'm going to tell you, when you really put that into action, it's such a challenge because you don't realize how programmed we are in a colonized mindset of having to be in control of their learning. I'm still in it, and it's a total detoxing, if you will. That's what I think it is. It's just detoxing. But Tiersa, tell us, how was it when you first got started? What's the ages of your children now?
My oldest is 12, and my 12-year-old boy, 11-year-old girl, and 7-year-old twins who I homeschool.
So what was it like in this when you first got started homeschooling? What was that journey like?
When we first got started, it was very much like school at home. It wasn't homeschooling as we know it today. It was, we bought curriculum And, you know, I see like Brain Quest at Target. I'm picking that up. You know, anything that I could get my hands on that I thought the children needed to know. It was very much school at home. Like this, you know, sit down, it's time to do your lessons, learn this now. That's what it was when we first got started. And even that was an improvement. I saw a vast improvement in my children's mood. Even with that, them coming out of school, they were happier, you know, because even when we did school at home, they still didn't have to get up at 6 o'clock in the morning. You know, they had the time to sleep if they needed to sleep, eat if they needed to eat, go to the bathroom if they needed to. So that they gained a lot of freedom just by homeschooling. But that's how we started. We started out with just a set curriculum, you know, just sitting at the kitchen table, mom's there or dad's there, and just do long division. Did you learn this? And a list of things that fourth graders should learn this year, a list of things that third graders should learn. And that's how we started, you know?
Yeah. And many of us do. So, but hey, all of you girlfriends who are watching this interview and watch all the interviews, we're giving you a leg up of what not to do, right? Don't bring school into your homeschool. Make it creative and choose what you want this schooling journey and learning journey, I should say, learning journey with your children to look like and to be like and to feel like and to smell like. And it may be totally against the grid of what everyone else is doing and what you've always known, but it's okay. There is freedom in the unknown, and the creativity is there, and it's just a beautiful thing.
Yes.
So go with your instinct and your gut and take away the mindset and colonization and all that kind of stuff that we have been, you know, toxified with and how it's supposed to look. I say that.
Absolutely. So that's how we started. But like I said, we've evolved to where we've let the kids take control of their own educations, you know, and we don't, and it is a journey because it's you know, there's sometimes we get to the point where we're like, oh no, do they know this? Oh my goodness, are they going to be okay with that? You know, and it's scary, but that letting go is so key. And sometimes it's like, you know, 3 steps forward, 2 steps back, but we're still going in the right direction.
Right.
You know, and I think that the biggest thing that I've learned, and this is what I would advise to most parents that are going through this journey, is that you have to trust your children. That is the biggest thing that that's come out of this homeschooling journey for me is just trusting them, that they know what's best for them because they are them. I can't, you know, I like to think of myself as that my kids came through me, but they're not me. You know, they're themselves. I brought them into this world, but that's all. That was my responsibility. I did that for them. And I'm not their boss. I'm not their manager. I'm their consultant. You know, I'm here to consult. I'm here to help you and guide you when you need something, but I'm not here to tell you what that thing is that you need. You need to tell me what it is that you need. And my job is to provide you with the resources that is going to make that easier for you. That's what I'm here for. And I tell them that all the time. You have to let me know because I want you to take control of your own education. Look, mom already got her education, you know, and I'm still learning. I still read every single day, but it's not my job to tell you what books to read. It's your job to tell me what books you want to read. And it's my job to go and buy that book, you know, or make that book available to you. So that's how I see my role in parenting now, you know, as opposed to before where everything was control. And, you know, and it's so liberating because I see the confidence in my kids because of this, because they know this is my life, you know, and I have to own it. And mom's not going to be there to tell me what to do and what to learn. I have to do it myself. And just instilling that confidence in them from a young age, I really do think that they're going to go far in life because they have that.
Yeah. And that is beautiful. And I'm going to tell you what, as a mom who's been homeschooling for 18 years, and my oldest is 22 and my youngest is 7, I'm just now figuring that out. And honestly, I didn't get it until they went into adulthood, and I thought, oh, so my job was only, I'll just birth you into the world, and I am to be your consultant. I mean, granted, when they're little, they need us in that type of thing, but it's teaching them to have autonomy over themselves and to experience this freedom over their self. And so, it's better late than never. And I'm glad that, I have this opportunity personally to walk that road of understanding now, even with my remaining 5 children, And so what she said there, you guys, that is huge and is big and is totally foreign, especially I believe, especially in our African diasporic community, because that's not the mindset that we have had. And I think we could go into a whole nother thing. I think we have had that mindset as a result of what has been passed through history of ownership, having control over, dictating everything. And we have just, duplicated that and doing it out of love for our own children. And in a sense, I think we have really harmed them. So I'm glad you said that. And girlfriends, ponder that and think on it and chew on it, because that's something I'm learning personally now. I just wish I would have known it earlier. But so let's transition our conversation, Tiersa, to tell us your worst day of homeschooling. Now, you two are both employed and working and taking care of your children and schooling them. What has been your worst day of homeschooling, to the degree you thought you wanted to stop? I'm done. I can't do this. I give up. And you almost quit, but you didn't. And, this is why you're this amazing homeschool mom you are today.
Yes, there's been a lot of those days. Yes. There's been a lot of days where I'm like, I don't know if this was the right thing to do. I'm having faith, but this is hard. But I can remember that a really bad day was with my daughter, and I was trying to get her to learn multiplication because I thought that she didn't know it well enough, and that she needed to keep learning this and just like you do in school, like just practice. I got her the flashcards. I had gotten her a book. I got her a program online. Like I had done everything, given her every resource that I could possibly give her. And she was resisting learning these. I would like come in her room and, and just quiz her and try to figure out what she knew. Did she know this? She needs to know this. And it just got to the point where she was so frustrated with this that I realized I'm doing more harm than good here by pushing her to learn something that she's not ready to learn. Like I am giving her anxiety. I'm giving her math anxiety, and something that might come easily to her later when she's ready to learn it, when she needs to learn it for something that she wants to learn, like, baking or something else where you need to learn multiplication, and it's going to come easy to her and she's going to be interested in that, and that's what she's going to want to do. I'm forcing her to do it now at a time when she doesn't want to learn it or doesn't even really need to learn it, because she'll learn it when she needs it. So that was the hardest for me, was that time when I was trying to force her to learn things that she wasn't ready to learn, and she was pushing back and resisting. And I've learned to let go. That's been my mantra when those things happen, is just, I need to let go. This is the time when I need to just say, whew. And the thing that's been most beneficial to me during those times when I feel like I need to control my kids and tell them what to learn, they need to know this right now, is that I like to focus on the things that they're already doing. What are they learning from that? So I just observe them and look at what they're doing. And in my mind, I go through all the things that they're learning by doing what they're doing. So if my daughter goes and she wants to make cupcakes because she loves to bake. I look at all the things that she's learning by making cupcakes. I think, oh, she's reading the directions. She's, using measuring cups. She's dividing. Like I think of all those things. She's doing food safety right now. She's doing science. You know, I think of all the things that she's learning by what she's already doing. And I try to encourage those things. I try to go further into those things and say, hey, you baked cookies yesterday. You want to try to learn how to make bread? You want to watch a YouTube video on, you know, how people make macaroons? Like, and she's like, oh yeah, because that's what she's interested in. I try to go down the road that she's interested in and that my other children are interested in, and take the path of least resistance. And so that's how I've been learning and growing in this homeschool journey, is that when I try to control, things don't go my way. When I let go and just go with the flow of what I'm already learning, it goes much further for both of us, for all of us. We get much more out of it. They get a better experience and I get a better experience, and our relationship grows. And that's what this is all about. It's about the time that I'm spending with them. It's not just their education, but it's also we get the benefit of spending a lot of time with our children and growing these relationships with them that we might not have otherwise. And it's a blessing, you know? So I try to focus on those things when I'm having a bad day in homeschooling.
Yes, I got you. That good stuff, good stuff. All right. Tell us your most memorable day at homeschooling, a day that was just so heart stirring that you thought, this right here is why I homeschool. And I'm gonna bring you to think about that. Tell us one of those moments.
I have a lot of those too, but one I can remember that happened recently is that my 7-year-old, it's always around food. Like, it's always around baking or food or something. But my 7-year-old, he came in my room and he said, Mom, I failed. He had tried to make a waffle and it didn't turn out the way he wanted it to turn out. And he just came in and said, Mom, I failed. I tried to do something and it didn't work out. And I just felt in that moment, yes, because he tried, he failed, and he felt confident enough to trust me to tell me that he failed. He didn't try to hide it. He didn't, you know, go somewhere else and feel ashamed. But he felt confident enough to try. He felt good enough about our relationship that he could tell me that he failed. And I said, you know what? We're going to do this again. And I'm going to help you. And we're going to get it right this time. And we just, you know, we cleaned up the mess. And we read the directions together. And we measured everything together. And we made waffles. And he was like so happy and excited about doing it. He was just so happy about doing these things together, but he's learning at the same time.
Right.
And then the next time he made waffles, he could not wait. He didn't ask me. He just went, he made a waffle and he came back. He said, Mom, I did it this time. I did it just the way you showed me. And I just felt like that's great because I'm raising adults. I'm raising independent human beings that know that they're going to make mistakes. They're okay with that. And they're going to get up and they're going to try again. And I felt amazing after that, you know, that they could make mistakes. Because when I was growing up, school kind of teaches you not to make mistakes. You don't want to make mistakes. You don't want to take risks because you need to get that A. So you just go towards the things that you're good at so you can get the guaranteed A. So it took me a long time as growing up as a grown woman to be okay with making mistakes and taking risk and admitting like, oh man, I really messed that up, you know? So for them to be doing that at such a young age and understanding that I'm going to fail and sometimes I'm going to need help and I need to reach out. I feel very proud that my kids are like that because it's not something that I had growing up.
I agree. And that's the beautiful of that freedom. And they get to grow up in that. So let us transition in this show, Tiersa. So all you girlfriends, first of all, I got to tell you, be sure to share. Hit the share button on YouTube. Get it into someone else's hands. You just never know what girlfriend needs to see this.
Yes.
To receive encouragement, and you just never know who might be considering homeschooling and need to say, oh, I can relate to Tiersa McQueen, and so if she can do it, I can do it.
That's
so
right.
Please, go ahead and hit the share button and get it out there. I appreciate it very much. And then also, when you're done, go head over to Educating Our Own and go ahead and follow and like that page, and also on YouTube. So I just got to put that plug in there first. So Tiersa, on this part of the show, these are some quick questions to pick your brain. You can just give 1 or 2 sentence answers, just really quick answers here. Okay. So the first one is, what is your favorite quote or mantra that you use to help you to get through this homeschooling journey?
Trust children. John Holt. I don't remember what the book was. I think it was How Children Learn or How Children Succeed. And the quote that he said was trust children. And that's the thing that gets me through the day. Trust them. They know what they need.
Do you plan to homeschool all the way through to the end?
Through high school? Well, I let the kids decide. Like I said, this is their education. So I always ask them, are you still good with this? Are you still good with homeschooling? And so far, I think we're going all the way through 12th grade. They seem to want to continue this. They love their freedom. I don't think they want to give up their freedom.
Okay. What is something that is unique to the McQueen homeschool that that you all have adopted or you all implement that has made this homeschooling journey your own?
I think that visiting museums is something that we really enjoy. Wherever we are, we get a membership to the local science museum, and we just visit the science. We use those membership hours, and we go early in the morning, and we go do the same things over and over and over, and they get a different experience every single time. So I think just exploring different cities and going to museums has been very unique in our homeschool.
All right. What is the best piece of advice that you have received for this homeschooling journey?
The best piece of advice I've received during this homeschooling journey is just to relax. That you're not going to know everything right away. You're going to find your own style. So just relax and go with the flow.
What is your favorite resource or tool or online app that you use, that you live by in your homeschooling?
YouTube. We do YouTube so much. I mean, we watch just a conversation about volcanoes will turn into a YouTube video and watching volcanoes erupt. So we watch YouTube a lot. So
good deal. So is there a favorite book, particularly a homeschool book or a favorite curriculum book or something that you have used that has helped you so much in this journey of homeschooling or unschooling your children?
I like Radical Unschooling by Dana Martin. And I also like How Children Learn by John Holt. Those books have been very informative to me and helped me to relax and, get through this journey.
Beautiful, beautiful. All right, here we are. We're on the last question.
Okay.
The $1 million question. So are you ready, Tiersa?
Yes, I'm ready.
All right. So Tiersa, if you had to start all over again to day one of your homeschooling journey, what would be and you have your current knowledge, wisdom, skills, insights, convictions, what would be the first thing you'd be sure to implement in your homeschooling journey, or the first thing you'd be sure to, to do away with this time around?
The first thing I would do, first of all, I would have started earlier. I don't think I ever would have put my kids in school. I would have trusted myself, but I would try not to do school at home. I would try to make it more relaxed. I would try to trust the kids more and go towards more what they're interested in, just find things that they're interested in, more strewing, more putting things on the table that they're interested in, and just going towards that more instead of trying to control what they learn and when they learn it. That's the thing that I think I would do differently if I could do it all over again.
Good deal. Beautiful, beautiful. Well, Tiersa, is there any last words of advice you'd like to share with the girlfriends, and how can they get in contact with you if they want to continue this conversation with you?
Yes, absolutely. I just think that if me and Shannon can figure this out, anybody can figure this out. I just think that you shouldn't be afraid to try homeschooling if you think that that's what's right for your family. and just start nights and weekends. Just start living the life that you think you want to live. Just start doing that on the weekends, you know, and implementing what you would want to do in homeschool while your kids are still in school. You know, I think that that's very important, just to start doing something that you want to see later on. Plant the seeds, you know. And if you want to keep talking to me, I'm on Twitter. I'm very active on Twitter at Tiersa J. That's at TIERSAJ. And I'm on Instagram as Mother Bay I, Mother_Bay_I. So yes, please find me. I love talking to people. I love sharing this homeschooling, unschooling journey with everyone. I'm very passionate about it, and it's been awesome. I wish everybody at least consider doing it, because it's a wonderful way to bring the family together and have some valuable family time, you know, while your kids are still young.
Beautiful. Well, girlfriends, you are the average of the 5 people you hang out with. In this past hour, you've been hanging out with Tiersa McQueen out of Florida.
That's right.
So you all keep up the momentum and continue to connect with positive influences who will bring a positive impact into your life. Okay. And then you all be sure to be that positive influence that others can draw from, you know. Create a sister circle in which you have that community, that intimate community that will encourage you along this journey. Like Tiersa said, sometimes it's tough and sometimes you're like, what am I doing? But your sister circle will help you say, come on, girl, you got this. You got this. No one's going to be a better advocate for your kids than you are. So connect with those. So Tiersa, thank you so much. Girlfriends Guide to Homeschooling appreciates you for giving up your time, your wisdom, your resource to give back into this community. Thank you so much. I'm grateful to
Thank you so much for having me. It's been a joy to talk to you. I'm very excited. Thank you. I really appreciate it.
My pleasure. My pleasure. My pleasure. All right. Well, girlfriends, remember that to teach a child is to touch a life. And as we homeschool, we not only touch a life, we shape the future through our efforts of homeschooling and unschooling. So, you know, keep making that positive impact day after day, year after year, as you give into and pour into the lives of your children. Okay. So thank you for joining me again. This is Angela Jordan Perry. You just have been with Girlfriends Guide to Homeschooling. Stay tuned, because in the coming weeks, we will have Tiersa McQueen on Girlfriends Chat with Angela Jordan Perry, where we would dig in deeper on a specific subject she talked about today. So go ahead and follow and find our podcast and download that and connect to it. Okay. All right, you all, peace and keep homeschooling. Stay strong. Go over to Educating Our Own now on Facebook, Educating Our Own on YouTube, and Girlfriends Guide to Homeschooling with Angela Jordan Perry on Facebook. And connect with Tiersa and keep the conversation going. All right, you all, take care. Peace to everybody.